What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. We're going to go into Bitcoin and see what's happening, what has happened, and what to expect. If we look at the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin had a pump on the 31st of May and got rejected nicely on the 200 EMA, and we had a pull down. I expected if we had a bounce, we would at least have to hold the wave 2 territory of the previous wave 3 that pumped up. I have a Elliott wave count that I'll show you. This was a wave 2 territory, 29,460, which it really held it really well on the 4-hour. It tweaked below and we continued up from there. I went long and I'm at profit at the moment. I got my stop losses moved. At the moment in the 4-hour, we're struggling at the 50 and the 100 EMA. As you can see, we're trying to get above the 50 on the 4-hour. And if we take this entire move over here since the 12th of May and take the fixed range profile tool and go all the way to the end, yeah, you will see that if we take it from here, sorry, our point of control now is over here on the 4-hour. As you can see, I had them previously. I'm going to just remove them on the 4-hour, and our value area high is over here, so we're going to redo them. And our value area low, this value area high could be here, still the same place. Value area low, still the same, yeah. So value area high, value area low, and my point of control for some reason has moved. We'll put it up here, and yeah, and bring this price target to here. So these are levels you should watch for: the value area high, value area low, and point of control on the 4-hour. In addition to that, I went into this range over here that we have at the moment, and I took the fixed range profile, fixed range volume profile, and I marked out this range point of control, value area high. Where's the value area high? The value area high of this comes down here, and the value area low comes up here also, somewhere here. Okay, that's fine. And you could take those as targets as well. So if I come here and I take the price label and I put a price label on value area high and value area low, the value area low and the wave 2 of an Elliott wave count I have are pretty close. So I'll show you the count once I'm done. Let me just remove the fixed range. Now, what to expect from Bitcoin? At the moment, as you can see, Bitcoin got a nice rejection from the 100. I mentioned in a short video that I posted that this would be a good point to short around this area with stop losses slightly above, and we're getting a good reaction down. We didn't get a significant bounce yet, but we're pulling down. If anything, I would expect a bounce from this point of control. We could at 29,845. If this doesn't hold, then we got the point of control of this particular range, 29,677, and finally we have this level of 29,540 to 29,445. It's also very significant. This range, we could call it a range, is significant because if you lose this, then you're definitely coming to see 28.8. It's not too far away. 28.8, yeah, around 28.8. And if you lose that, you could come down to previous wicks over here, as you see, 27.9, or all the way down to 26K range. Now, indicators, if we look at the indicators on the 4-hour, I noticed something. Early on, I was looking at the 4-hour, and we weren't having any bullish move up. It was very weak, and the EMA, the MACD didn't have a cross yet, but the ATR was low. And why that is important, because this level of ATR, the last time we were here, was over here. Let me enlarge that, zoom out. The last time we were here was on the 17th December 2020. So that's, I would say, roughly about 18 months ago. And after that, but as you see at that point, the ATR was rising to that level. But now at the moment, we're falling to that level. But when ATR was at that level, we had a huge explosive movement to the upside. And we look what happened after that. If you look here, we had you could say the bull run all the way to 64K, 65K. So it's very important to notice that we are somewhere around there. But at the moment, the downward trend is still strong. There is no indication of exhaustion of the downward trend. So if I take the ATR tool, and if I bring the trend exhaustion tool, let's look at the trend exhaustion indicator, and you look at the moment, we haven't had any green curve to indicate that the downtrend is ending and we're having an uptrend coming up soon. So that's still a problem for Bitcoin. As long as this is red, it's telling you the trend is still not reversed. You need the trend. When the trend start turning green, then you could say that's a good time to start buying or accumulating. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. Our ATR was at this level, and previously this level was critical. And if we compare our MACD, when we were at that ATR, what the MACD was doing then, we were above and we were green in the MACD, and we had a bullish cross and we ripped up. And if we look now, let's just compare and see what's really happening now. And what was the trend exhaustion? We were green. This is on the 4-hour. At the moment, the MACD is having a cross, but we're way below. Not much strength. Even the curvature is weak. And the ATR is dropping to those levels. We're not coming out of those levels. See, volatility is still very low, and the trend exhaustion is still red. Doesn't show any exhaustion of the downtrend. If we take, let's see, money flow. On the 4-hourly, if we take money flow, just keep these targets with you. Keep them down, write them down. I'll enlarge that for a second. This target over here is a possibility if this is an A, B, and we're going for a C wave up. So assuming that's an ABC, say we had an A, B down, and a C. A C can go up to 1.618. A C wave or a 3 wave can go up. How did I measure the 1.618? I came from this peak over here. I came to this low, the very low of this move. And as you can see, actually the 1.618 was much higher than that. Yeah, that's the 1.618, sorry. That's 1.618. But keep these targets. Let's go back to the money flow indicator. Money flow is increasing on the 4-hour, showing money moving into Bitcoin. And if we look on On balance volume, OBV still very low, but it's, yeah, not really strong on the OBV. What about CVD, cumulative volume? Showing you majority of people, like if you look over here, it was a bit high and then started dropping. That's telling you people are selling off. And now at the moment, not much of buy. Let's look on the 1 hour, on the smaller time frame, and let's see what's happening really on the OBV. Yeah, OBV is curving to the downside. Doesn't look like any strong move. Money flow indicator, if you look at the money flow indicator, MACD and Bitcoin at the moment, MACD was slightly having a high, I think. It looks like a high. And on Bitcoin, we're having the same. There's no divergence over there. Money flow indicator, on Bitcoin, we have a high. If you look from here, we have a lower high. So if we go like this, we had a high on Bitcoin, lower high. And here on money flow indicator, you have a high. And at the moment, we might be forming a higher high. So if you want to bring it exact, you can take that. There you go. And if you bring that over here, there you go. Slightly higher high and a lower high on Bitcoin. That is called hidden bearish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence is a continuation of a trend. Let's look at the 4 hour, because that's a stronger time frame. It's a bigger time frame. It's more accurate. I mean, you want to see the big moves. So on the 4 hour over here, we had a high, and over here we had a higher high, but here we had a lower high. We had slightly hidden bearish divergence, but it's too close, like just 4 hours away. And let's see. If you compare it with this over here, same thing, no divergence. If we look down, we had a low, a higher low. Over here we had a higher low and a lower low. So that is this on the money flow indicator on the 4 hour. This is, let's see, you come over here and you take it all the way here. Yeah, this is a higher low and a lower low. That is called hidden bullish divergence. So it's a continuation of this small of this uptrend. So maybe we might have some move up, but what I prefer to look at for what you call it, what I prefer to take a look for divergences is the RSI indicator. And I use RSI, Relative Strength Index. And if you look at the RSI, just take the MACD out of here, and you look in the 4 hourly, can we see any bullish or bearish divergences? Here we have a low. Let's go from here. Low, higher low. And over here we had a low. And over here we had a higher low. Is it a higher low or lower low? Look at that. It's a higher low, and here it's a high low. So now bullish divergence. But if we look at the highs, high, lower high, no bullish divergence. But if you go back a bit, there's no divergence over here. But if you really go back, you could maybe find from the peak over here a divergence. So if you go from here, say, oh, this is a high, this is a lower high, and if you go from here, high, lower high, same thing. I can't see any bearish divergence either on this. Probably you'll find some on the weekly. Now about the Elliott wave count, we had as you can see in white, I had from the 48K a 1, 2, and a wave 3 down that ended over here at this point at around 25, 26K. And I was expecting a fourth wave that will go up to 33K, but I didn't get that. And in the third wave, it was made up of 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It ended. And for Bitcoin to come out of here, it needed to come out in 5 waves. So I said, okay, this could be the first wave. We'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in yellow. Let me just show you again the big account. The big account started here at 48K. We had a 1, 2, third wave down, fourth, and expecting a fifth wave. In the third wave itself of this white one, we had a yellow count, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2 was a bit long, the 4 was sharp. If the 2 is sharp, then the 4 is flat or long. And if we look at this, for Bitcoin to come out of it, it needed to do 5 waves. So we started off with a 1 in yellow, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Expected a slight pullback. So this whole thing would be a wave 1. Expected a slight pullback. Expected the 5 to come later and expected this to be a whole 4. But then the 4 came down. The problem with the 4 coming down, it came and it violated this fourth wave in white, which was the fourth of this third in yellow. And it's not, if it does that, then it invalidates the count. So another count was that probably this entire move up was a wave 1 and we have a wave 2. If that is the case, and we have a wave 1 up and we have a wave 2 incoming, so this wave could have been a 1 and we're having a 2 and we're going up for a bigger 3. Okay, so, and a 4 and a 5. So if that's the case, then our wave 1 was here and our wave 2 is coming down here. That means wave 2 cannot, it has to hold this previous 2 of this entire wave 1. The 1 has 5 waves in it. 1, 2, 3. So this level, which Bitcoin has been holding, and we've seen it wick 29,450. It wicked below it, but it doesn't open and close many candles under it. It's trying to hold 29,445. If it continue holding that, that would be good news for Bitcoin. We could go up for a wave 3. Now, if we come back here and we look at our targets and we try to figure out what are the possibilities. So the possibilities, what are we looking at? Let's look at the volatility, RSVVB on the 4 hourly. We've contracted, we moved on the 1 hourly. I usually measure it on the 1 hourly. If I look at it, it's very much contracted. And if I measure it with a measuring tool, you will notice that it is at 1.89. That's very low. I'm expecting a move for Bitcoin pretty soon. These are very low levels for the RSVVB. You could do that with Bollinger Bands as well and measure and see the contraction and back test it, compare it with previous contractions and moves that came after that. That is one way. My ATR on the 1 hour, if I look at the ATR on the 1 hour is at 161. That is so low. I don't know if we've been here recently. I doubt. I mean, today we were at 120, so that was lower than what we had on 29th of May. Pretty low levels, I must say. So ATR is low, RSVVB is contracted, but one thing about the RSVVB is that you can tell where you in the cloud. If you're in the red region, then it's not good. So on the 1 hourly, we got above to the green region and we came down to the red region again. On the bigger time frame, on the 4 hourly, we're in the red and we're still quite expanded. So yeah, that's for the RSVVB. Then we have one more thing I like to look at to see where am I in space, I like to call it Ichimoku. Let me just clear some things in the Ichimoku cloud. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hourly, it's very good. We're in the green. We were below the purple cloud. That's very bearish. It was coming down on us from 48k, as you can see. That's resistance. At the moment we got support, but Ichimoku is a predictive indicator, so it can give you indication of what may happen. So this green part or portion was printed before Bitcoin came in here. As you can see now over here, it's printing a purple cloud. So meaning that if Bitcoin continues ranging in this range and doesn't pull up by the 9th of June or so, we'll be under a purple cloud, and that could be resistance pulling us back down. So yeah, that's my idea of Bitcoin, my targets. I expect Bitcoin can hold this till tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, the market's open, and usually on Mondays we have the false move. If we're moving up on Monday, then expect a move down towards the end of the week. So yeah, Monday could be a pump recovery of this drop or of this red candle over here. Then we continue further down, liquidate the shorts and continue down. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bells for updates. I post almost daily. That's more trades, and I post shorts as well, and I'll keep you updated on what I see in the market. At the moment, my trades, I'm in trades. I've been short from 40k, still in my short. I put my stops somewhere below the 33k range, and I'm in a long from 29.4. I'm not going to close this long because in case we're reversing back up, or if I get a good move up, but I don't see us going above 33k. Even this region would be a big problem for Bitcoin, because as you can see, look at this. Since the 9th of May, we've been wicking this. We couldn't really go above this. That is 31 to 32 700k range. So even if we come here, we'll have a chance to short again to a support. So Bitcoin might if Bitcoin wants to move out of here, it has to do this. For Bitcoin to move out of here, it has to pump up. This will be the first wave, going up. Then it will have to come down and retest this support. It might not go that high, but it needs to come down. Then we'll get another push up, and you'll get a retest of this support over here. That will be a fourth wave, and we get a fifth wave up. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because you might get a pullback, A, B, C, that tests this high again, and that's it. And then you get another pump. You get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that you won't miss out. Don't get into a trade just fear of missing out. There's always a next trade. Don't get greedy. Use stop loss. Trade light. a trick I learned as a beginner is to trade light. What do I mean by trading light? When you trade light, you trade small positions. Try converting $15 or $20 into $50 or $100. If you can't convert $10 to $20, for instance, you're not going to convert $1,000 to $2,000. You're just going to get wrecked. At the moment, now that I'm looking at Bitcoin, it looks like after this rejection, we're going back down. Probably we get a bounce at 29,723. If not, then next level to look at would be over here, 29,400. The wave 2 region, as I like to call it. If we don't hold it, then we're coming back down to previous strong support, 28.8, which was really strong. And if we don't hold that, we're coming down to the 27 to 26K range. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out. Click the like and subscribe again, and notification bells on. Thank you very much.